Hello YouTube, this is Ratagris21. We're doing another presentation today on the completed project of the M91 This was a complete restoration of the rifle as far as the wood stock. We actually added modifications to this weapon as well. This particular weapon was picked up at a gun show a couple of weeks ago, and it turned out to be a project weapon for a friend of mine. And I just wanted to share the end results. This was the same rifle that was previously featured on the simulated install of the S&K stock, the S&K scope mount for an M91 part number 9165. And of course this is still featuring the same scope of the NC Star 2-7x32 scope. Now this particular rifle, when it was originally acquired, did have the original finish, the shellac finish. However, my friend wanted to kind of keep it of a more natural wood look, and so what we ended up doing is removing the original finish, and we ended up applying one coat of Minwax Gunstock stain. Once it was eventually removed of all the it was removed of the original finish rather, it was let to dry for about 2 days. Basically ended up using citrus strip to remove the finish, and in the process of doing so we found out that the handguard actually had brass fittings on here. So this would be more of a presentation type of rifle that you would maybe find with a guard unit that would be maybe at a formal function. And so with that, we kind of took it a step to where we refinished it by taking it down to the bare wood. And this is a wood stock. We liked the way the grain looked, so we applied one coat of the Gunstock Minwax Gunstock stain, let that dry overnight, and then ended up applying 3 coats of the rub-on polyurethane, and then of course that was allowed to dry for the final finished result of 24 hours later. The directions on the bottle do clearly help in the end result. As part of the upgrade, what we decided to do is replace the rear metal buttstock with one of these rubber butt pads. This one was actually acquired. It is a Redbird version of the Mosin replacement stock butt pad, and we decided to go with the brown on this one. So it's just something that to help ease a little bit of the recoil. And then of course we ended up placing the bolt body with a turn-down slant version that was provided by Ritz22, who is also an eBay vendor, and this has previously been featured on another video that I did almost about a year ago. He has several options that are available. We decided to go with this since I had this in stock in my inventory, and I went ahead and contributed as a contribution to this rifle. And we polished up all the metal finish, all the hardware here, all the chrome, and including this bolt body. And then of course we have the S&K scope mount, which was acquired through Brownell's. The install time on this particular rifle did take me roughly about an hour to do. I did have to do a little bit of filing, not only on the ears here of the rear scope, or here to make the scope mount actually attach, but the ears that for the rear sight base had to be filed down a little bit, and then of course I had to file a little bit on the inner part of the actual mount. But again, this is all metal, being all steel to be exact. And then of course it came with the scope mount rings, which are 1 inch in diameter to accommodate the NC Star scope to provide a long eye relief. And as far as the refinishing here, once we got stripped the paint off of these brass fittings, we ended up using a little bit of the Malco metal polish, which is similar to a Brasso but a little bit more heavy duty, and so ended up providing a nice little end result finish. But the overall results of the weapon looks very, very natural. The original cartouche markings were left in place for those that are wondering about were any of the original stock stampings removed from the arsenal. No, actually we found quite a number of times where this stock had gone through the arsenals at different points in times of the year. But the actual receiver itself, of course, is from 1943 from the Izhevsk Arsenal, and it's going to be tested here soon to see how the results are. If I can go ahead and get video on the end results and zero in the scope and see how the accuracy is done. But as part of the finished process, I went ahead and shimmed the rifle by placing a shim here at the rear tang area, and right here in the recoil lug section on the inside of the stock I placed 2 small shims, and then I also placed a shim about right here as well. The barrel was free floated throughout. I did the upper handguard as well as the lower part of the stock to allow for accuracy, and so we'll find out if in the end if this is a very accurate shooter, even of course now that we've got it scoped. And this was a full accessories kit. It's not an all matching parts, but it did come with the traditional accessories, being the ammo pouch and the tool kit and the bayonet. But overall, we're very pleased with the end results of this. As you can see, the wood looks very, very nice. Okay, the bolt body there looks very nice and traditional, and it almost kind of has a PEM looking feel to it, even though I know the PEM scope literally is mounted about right here and back. But my friend wanted to go with something kind of traditional with a little bit of a modern look, and this is the end results. Okay, so this weapon has of course been safety checked. There is no ammo in the rifle, but overall very nice. Of course, you can always restore your weapons if you choose to do so, or leave them sort of as you get them. But this is a very nice end result, and I just wanted to share it with you. And you know, if you want to ever look at accessorizing your weapon, definitely go on eBay. There's a lot of vendors on there. MNRITS22, very, very classy vendor to deal with. Prompt customer service, very detailed. If you find something that's incorrect with their components, they will be more than happy to address that and get it corrected and or replace it for you and get it sent back to you in a promptly manner. But this rifle here is pretty much going to be as is, and just wanted to share it with you. I hope you enjoy the end results as much as my friend has, and hope it helps somebody out. What I did for the refinishing process, I did mention citrus strip, and then we let the stock dry, and also we ended up applying first one pass of the 220 grit sandpaper, again being very careful with the cartouche markings, especially one that was about right here. And there's a number 2 actually located up here at the stock. I'm not sure if the camera will pick that up. And then there's several other cartouche markings that I'm going to try to see if they'll pick up on the camera, located about right here. And overall, the end result, let's see if we can pick up, it looks like a 9 or a B down there at the bottom. And once we did that pass, we ended up doing 320 grit. And in between the applications of the sandpaper, we ended up using tacky cloth to pick up the residue. And then the stain was applied. It was allowed to dry for about, actually it wasn't allowed to dry. It was allowed to sit on the stock for about 10 minutes. We liked the end result, wiped off the excess and let that dry. And then we ended up applying the polyurethane coats about 2 hours after it more or less started drying. It was a very warm day, and plus I was doing this in the garage, so it helped dry the process a lot quicker naturally. And then the polyurethane, the final coat, which was the 3rd coat, did allow it to sit for 24 hours. And this is the end result. Of course, you can always do things like true oil. That'll work just as well. And hopefully you like the end result. So thank you for watching, and have yourself a great day and great shooting, and enjoy your Mosin at any given time.